What if you could only learn one scale on the guitar? Which scale is going to give you the most mileage, the absolute most creative range, and help you play in any key up and down the fretboard? That's the challenge that we are addressing today is what if you could only learn one scale, and what scale would that be? Now, the scale that this is not the major scale. Whether you're talking about the 3-note per string version of the major scale like this, not that scale. Also, not the traditional minor pentatonic scale that everybody starts out with. A lot of people start out with this 2-note per string minor pentatonic scale, not that scale. Let's do this in the key of G, meaning our root note is G, and that is your 3rd fret on your 6th string right here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play that G with my 1st finger, and then I'm gonna play the 5th fret or A with my 3rd finger, and then I'm gonna slide that up to the 7th fret, and that's the first 3 notes. And then I'm gonna use my 1st finger to play the 5th fret on the 5th string, and then I'm gonna use my 3rd finger to play the 7th fret on that string. Now that's 5 notes, and this is a pentatonic scale. So every note after this is the same notes, just repeating, okay? So check this out. So we have 3, 5, 7 on your 6th string, and on your 5th string, 5 and 7. Now this is where I would have a student sit and repeat that. Just repeat that up and down and get comfortable with it. But we're going to continue. Once you reach that point, we're going to keep going on the 4th string with your 5th fret with your 1st finger, and then your 3rd finger on the 7th fret, and then you're going to slide up to 9. And then we're going to go to the 3rd string with 7 with your 1st finger and 9 with your 3rd. Now, when you get to the 2nd string, everything on the 2nd string and 1st string shifts up 1 fret. So rather than going on to the 7th fret of your B string, we actually have to shift up and go to the 8th fret. And from there, you're going to play that with your 1st finger, and then your 10th fret with your 3rd, and slide up to 12 with that 3rd. And on your 1st string, 10 with your 1st, 12 with your 3rd. Okay? Now that scale if you're only going to learn one scale on the guitar and you want to get a lot of bang for your buck, this will work for 80 to 90% of any playing situation. It is the most useful scale. I love it. It's my favorite thing. This scale has been used in tons of famous solos. I see it popping up all the time. Whenever I'm teaching a student a song or I'm learning a song myself, this scale is the scale that the pros from back in the day were using all the time up and down the fretboard without really having to think about it. And the beautiful thing about it is because we have this cool diagonal movement, we cover a lot of the fretboard. Now we could really dive into this, and I have a whole course that does this. So if you're interested, you can check out that course. But this links together all 5 of your traditional pentatonic patterns. So most people, when they're learning, they learn 5 pentatonic shapes, and they all have 2 notes per string. This simple pattern of just this actually connects all 5 of those shapes across the fretboard. And it makes it super simple and easy to learn, okay? Because not only can you do this on your 6th string, I could start on G right here, right? But I have a G on my 5th string as well. I could start it right there. Same scale, same notes, new position, right? Really simple to move around. And just by starting in 2 different places, I'm able to cover all the way from down here on the 3rd fret, all the way up to the 19th fret on my 1st string. Okay, you can't really do that with most other scales. This is the easiest way to cover that entire fretboard. Now, the beautiful thing about this too is it sounds good. When you're playing songs, let's say you're jamming with your buddies and you're taking turns soloing, or you're trying to learn your favorite guitar solo, this scale gets used all the time and it sounds good with everything. Most popular music, if you're into the kind of stuff that I am, that's a lot of classic rock from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and 2000s, stuff that is popular. I'm talking like the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Green Day, the Foo Fighters, all sorts of stuff like that. Most popular rock is quite simple and uses pretty simple stuff. We're talking your major and minor keys are the most common ones used. Every once in a while, you'll have something that's Mixolydian or Dorian, but not too often, right? The good news is this scale works for that too, okay? That's another really cool thing about this. You can use that for your Mixolydian, for your Dorian, for your Phrygian, for your Lydian. It makes life so much easier. So how would you practice this? What I would have you do is I would have you start playing this just like this, up and down the fretboard. Just practice that, get that under your fingers, okay? Then find a G backing track. In fact, you know what? Let's do this. I will send you a free backing track in the key of G that you can practice that with. It's included in my course that is on this scale. So if you want to dive deeper, that course is going to really help you out. I mean, we go through everything, and there's tons of extra stuff, exercises, backing tracks, all sorts of stuff to make sure that you understand this and you can use it in tons of different situations too. Plus, if you get the VIP version, we go even deeper and go into some more theory stuff and how to use it exotically. It's really, really cool. Anyway, so I would practice that scale and then change keys, meaning start somewhere else. So we started this on G, but you can start this anywhere. We could start on A. We could start on B. We can start on C. It doesn't matter where you start with this. You can play it in any key. Now, after you're comfortable with that and you've played it in different positions on the fretboard in different keys, then what I want you to do is find more backing tracks or more songs that you can figure out what key you're in, and I want you to start soloing with it, making up your own things. That means throwing in your own phrasing, your own bends, slides. And do all sorts of good stuff to make this scale sound really, really good. And the cool thing about it too is it instantly does make you look and feel like a rock star because you're able to cover the fretboard, you're able to sound good with whatever you play, and it simplifies what you need to learn, right? You don't have to learn every single scale under the sun. This scale is going to get you a ton of mileage. Now in the course, we go even deeper, and I'm going to show you how you can use this for major and for minor keys and to be able to do all sorts of stuff with it. So I will put a link to that course in the description down below if you're interested in checking it out. So if you could only learn one scale on the guitar, this is the scale to learn. Technically, it's called the diagonal major pentatonic scale, but you can also use it for minor stuff, okay? And I'll show you how to do that in the course. But it's going to carry you through tons and tons of situations. Now, like I've said, if you want to dive deeper with the scale and really get a lot out of it, go check out my course. It's called the Instant Rockstar Scale Mini Course. And that course is really going to help you dive deep to be able to play this in any key, anywhere on the guitar. You're going to cover the entire fretboard. And just by learning this one simple scale, you're going to literally cover every single position on the fretboard. It's going to make your life easier. Okay. So go check out that. It's at simpleguitar.com/instant rockstar scale. Okay. If you get it, awesome. Thank you for getting it. If not, I hope that this video helped you out. Now, if you want to see a really cool musical example of this scale being used for a solo, go check out this video about how to play the solo from Let It Be by the Beatles, because this is exactly the scale that George Harrison used to play that solo. So go check out that video and Let It Be, and I will see you in the next video.